So this video is going to be a introduction to files. You can see on the bench here we've got a selection of files. They are used to remove material from where you do not want material. They are serrated edges for the most part, and by handling them correctly you can use them to remove a lot of material in quite a quick amount of time, and you can also use them to deburr parts and provide nice surface finishes when you need to. So on the table you'll see there's quite a big variety here. We have a half round file, which is a curved surface for filing curves. We have a round file, which is good for filing holes larger. We have small form factor files, and we have large form factor files. Now there's no difference between these other than the size. We can get square files, we can get larger half round, and we can get triangular files. But none of these are going to be the key point of this video. The first instance, we're going to look at these three files here. These are all rectangular files, they're all square cut files. The key difference between them is they are different grades. So I have a grade 1 file here, and it is stamped with a number 1. I have a grade 2 file here, again stamped, and a grade 3 file here, again stamped. The number 1 is the roughest, number 2 is an intermediary, and then number 3 is smoother. So if you need to remove a lot of material, you start with this one, and then you work your way through and you finish with this one to get a nice smooth finish. You'll notice that on the files, this side is a cut and face, this side is a cut and face, but this edge is smooth, whilst this edge is not. The purpose for that is if I have a piece of material, similar to this, a square block, if I was filing it with the rough edge on the inside, then as I remove material, I would remove material from both the bottom and the side. Whereas if I use the smooth surface on the material, I can go straight up into the corner, I can file, but because that edge is smooth, I know I'm not going to remove any material from the side that I don't want to. Now it is a process. You start with the first one, work to the second and then the third, but very quickly you can begin to remove material. Another tool that we have available to us is a file card, which looks like one of these, and these are used to clean the files. So after this has been used on some materials, you may, especially with softer materials, you may find that the actual cutting surface of the file becomes clogged up. You can use a file card to clean the surface of the file and restore it to its initial state. Amongst our variety of files here, we also have needle files which can be used. Again, the same principles apply. Needle files come in various shapes and sizes again, generally used for very fine detail work. So we've got round needle files, we have half round needle files, and they are exactly the same in terms of usage. You've just got to be much more careful. They're generally much smoother, and if you are to use a needle file, generally you should support it with a finger behind to make sure at no point is it snapped. If I was going to use a needle file on our original block here, for example, I would have it held flat with one finger. I would very gently start to tease away any material that I need to. These are not for removing a lot of material quickly, these are for doing finer detail work and should be looked after. Generally always return to the packaging afterwards because they can snap if left out. They're quite easy and quite brittle. So again, be careful with them, but they are a useful tool to have